Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Passively Offside. If you could hear us before we unmuted, you would hear us singing along to the theme song.
Mm-hmm.
So there's something. Hopefully the camera stuff has worked out.
Yeah.
Google Hangout's going a little slow for me right now. It shows me that we're still on the thing and that we're going really slow, but my camera looks fine, so hopefully. Otherwise, you're just going to see this picture. Look, it's just us drinking.
Yes.
That's what they might see just the whole show.
Perfect.
That'd be awesome,
So we're gonna have to watch it a little bit later and figure out what's going on. But we're here. Everyone's here.
Yep.
Boris is still here.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't abandoned us again
Yeah.
randomly. So yeah, I mean, good stuff going on in here, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
How's everyone doing? It's been a week. Haven't seen you guys.
It's been good.
Just surviving the hangover.
Surviving the hangover. We were back from Seattle.
Yes, we all went to Seattle, as we know from the last podcast.
Yep.
Had a lot of fun.
Yep.
Went and saw the sights. Went to the game.
Took over Seattle a little bit.
Took over Seattle. We supporter group flag in front of the Space Needle, so it's ours now. We own it.
Yep.
We couldn't bring it back because we didn't check bags, and they wouldn't strap it to the top of the plane.
Well, I mean, we were going to ask if we could throw it up on the roof, but apparently planes don't have roof racks.
Apparently they don't. It's a thing in Utah where there's roof racks on everything.
Gun racks and everything.
Yes, that's true.
Racks on racks on
Racks on racks on racks.
Looking at the video here, it does look really, really laggy. It looks absolute garbage. Really not sure what the issue is there because everything's running fine on the computer. It's definitely something up with Google and how we're running the camera, but we're gonna do the show anyway. We don't really care.
Audio podcast.
Yeah, whatever. You can deal with it.
I feel like it's a problem with you having a MacBook.
I don't think it is because again everything's working just fine. And I don't know what that is, Boris.
It's just a computer, bro.
Black computer with no logos whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. So
I am literally running a speed test right now to make sure it's not Nephi's internet.
It's not
This
Nephi's
just in,
internet.
It's not Nephi's internet.
Yeah.
It's running.
You know what
fantastic.
it is? It's because before,
oh,
and
man,
Splenda hasn't grown a beard yet.
That's the problem.
been
And that was the first thing we were going to talk
trying
about
and
because,
trying.
like we said on the hashtag there, Splenda Beard Update, how's the beard?
Well, it's good. I forgot how to apply shaving cream because it's been 24 weeks and still no beard. I want to believe
little scruff.
I want to believe that one day I'll just wake up and I'll just have this giant like Zeus beard, all white and everything, and then I'll control the world.
He's got less than my 5 o'clock shadow.
It's the worst.
And we are done. Let's move on. Let's go over to Boris and jump right into this. Give us the of the weeks and the scores, please.
Alrighty then. Going into our of the weeks. Goal of the week is going to go over to Lamar Nagel with his, I'm going to call it a bomb. He just sent that thing for about 30, and put it where our grandma hangs her clothes. Nick Raimondo had no chance.
Right where the cookie jar is.
Really nothing you can
No
do there.
chance. As well with that, we're kind of mixed in. Blas Perez, shout out to you for that goal that out of nowhere, just looked like whatever. It still went in. Our save of the week's going to Bill Hamid on a volley off of Thierry Henry. It was literally cat-like reflexes. His hand didn't go out there within a fraction of a second. That would have been Henry's second goal in that game. Our player of the week's going over to Ignacio Piatti, Montreal Impact. Hey, this is the first time we have a Montreal Impact player.
We're actually going to talk quite a bit
on
about
our of the weeks.
Are we 100% sure?
I'm pretty sure that that's the first time we've had a Montreal Impact player.
Very good.
Marco Di Vaio was an honorable mention a couple of weeks back.
May have been.
I think we might have actually had a goal of the week in the very first week.
Yeah, early when we were just talking heads. Not when we were.
We might have to look
Really
back
bobbleheads.
into past episodes for that one.
I don't want to look back at past episodes.
We're not going
Yeah,
to.
we're not.
Camera's working, by the way, apparently.
Yay, sweet.
Oh,
I don't know what I did, but I fixed it.
Where'd you
Good
go,
job.
Black Computer Company?
Nameless computer.
Nameless Computer
Nameless
Company.
computer incorporated.
Anonymous computers.
I believe that. Never mind. I
Nope.
don't want to be red
Let's
carded
just-
this early in the
Yep.
show.
Let's
keep
just
going.
go.
Our shame of the week's going over to Vancouver. The whole Vancouver fan base. Literally Vancouver, YSA, never again. Never
I will
again.
say, I know that you wanted to do that because we could hear the YSA chant, which, if you don't remember, is "You suck."
Blankety blank.
Blankety blank hole. I will say, I've been hearing that a lot at Real Salt Lake games.
Yep.
I've been hearing that a lot at other games.
Mhm.
I did not hear it in Seattle.
No.
We didn't
I
we
know.
didn't hear it in Seattle, but I will say a certain organization that plays these games live for your entertainment
Please don't.
Can we
pulled me
not?
aside
Can
and
we
told
not?
me not to swear. So
Can we not?
No, that's fine. No, he did it just fine.
No.
We're good.
I know how to.
We're
I
good.
know how
All
to
right,
be
give
on
us the
camera.
scores. We are
Yeah.
so far
Oh,
behind
that's
right
right.
now.
On scores,
Messing around.
on our scores, this is all out of 229 games so far in the 24 weeks we've done this. Taylor's gotten 90 correct. Nephi 92. Splendus catching up to the pack. He's at 87, guys.
Just chipping
And
away.
I'm still in the lead at 96. So
You got lucky.
I had a really good week last week. I got 6 of the 12 right.
It's because he's not a homer.
All I gotta say here on this is that Passively Offside is doing a lot better than those other analysts. We have a higher percentage.
Me too.
So back over to you,
Go
man.
us,
All right.
guys.
Moving on here, let's go into our first bit of news. And actually, we're going to do news, well, at least this bit of news slightly differently. I wanted to start the show off, start our discussion off with this, so I put it in news, but it's something I actually want to talk about here.
Mhm.
We all know about this. We talked about it earlier, and if you haven't seen, MLS is starting a new campaign called MLS Next, along with the hashtag MLS Next.
Hashtag MLS Next.
Hashtag MLS Next. I hate the name. I think it's stupid.
Okay.
It reminds me of the Next Computer Company. Yeah.
Okay.
See,
Oh,
so that's
yeah.
why I don't like it. That's just bringing it back to that.
Nothing wrong with them. I mean, we're not saying anything all over the air.
No, nothing wrong with the Next
It
Computer
just
Company
reminds
that
us
no
of-
longer exists.
just
Just was
rem- just
bought out
remi-
by Apple before Steve Jobs died and all that stuff.
Just reminds us of them.
Anyways.
Anyways, it does just remind me of that, which is kind of weird. That's what I'm saying. It's weird. New logo,
Mm-hmm.
which
Love
is
it.
not a logo. It's a crest.
Yeah.
Love it.
And it's
You love
not
it?
just one crest, it's a different crest for each team.
Which I
Exactly.
kind of like.
I like it, actually.
I mean, I think
I like
it's
the
good.
exploitability on Photoshop of the new crest.
Yes.
That's one thing I really enjoy. I'm not a huge fan of the new crest. I think it will grow on me. There was one. It was for the Portland Timbers. And it was the guy crying.
the guy crying.
If you haven't seen the video of the crying Timbers fan, which was last year during
Western Conference
the Western
semifinals,
Conference
finals,
against
yeah.
Real Salt Lake,
Oh, so
this guy, they just got a camera on him at the end of the game. He was just, oh!
Everybody
It hurts, and that's the best part of that video. Someone put it to that song, and it was
That
phenomenal.
was the best.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nephi, do you want to say words?
I'm good.
All right.
Nephi's not having any fun today.
Oh, buddy.
We're all trying to have fun, and Nephi's just. I think we need to talk about your role on this show.
Oh, don't.
What about the crest, Nephi? What do you
Yeah.
think?
I
You're-
like it.
Yeah.
What do you like about it?
The biggest thing is with MLS coming up with a new TV deal, it's going to be really easy for teams and new fans to be able to recognize the crest and recognize the team
Okay.
that it's for.
I like that.
This is going to make it really easy to market, and that's what they're going for.
My biggest question that I wanted to pose to you guys, because I was on subreddit MLS earlier,
Mhm.
and we
Slash r.
saw. Yep. You can just say subreddit. It's okay. Saw a lot of different custom crests
Yes.
for the teams. Now you laugh because there were some very funny ones, like the
Yes.
Portland Timbers guy.
Or the Landy Cakes.
Landy Cakes
My
was good.
profile picture on Facebook right now.
DB was good.
Oh, that was a good one.
And then my favorite one, before we go into this whole conversation, my favorite one was the original MLS crest. Superimposed perfectly. It looked really good, too. So I think they could have just updated to that. I think that would have been better. I would have liked it more. But anyway, my big question to you guys is, there was a lot of customization in the crest that I saw. The one for Real Salt Lake had the lion in the lower side. There was someone made a beautiful Dallas one with the bull. So there are already crests for the teams.
Yeah.
They're just the colored though.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about these customized ones? Where are they going to fit in?
Merchandise.
Mhm.
Okay.
Scarves. I bet we'll see a lot of those come out. I really want to see that RSL one on
On
a
a t-shirt?
supporter scarf.
Oh, yeah.
The one with the lion?
Yeah,
That one was
or even
very
a
cool.
T-shirt. Yeah,
Yeah.
because you could actually get the image.
I would
better.
get a patch on that and put it on my patch
Yeah.
bag.
But like I was kind of saying earlier, with it being so customized for each team, I think that's what they went for. They're like,
I agree.
we're really trying to push new fans. We need to get something out there for each team. Keep it simple and then they can customize it themselves.
I will say though that when you look at the picture with all of them on there, you kind of get bored with it. Just because.
And that was
just,
my problem.
Just
Yeah.
because you have New England, Chicago,
Mhm.
DC, and I
Crew.
can't. No, the fourth. I don't remember what the fourth team is, but their color scheme is red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
So the things look exactly like one.
Well, the reason I
one or
said
two
crew
different-
is because like New England's is a dark. They've made it a darker blue for the crest, and it almost looks like the Crew's.
Yeah,
Cruise
so-
is yellow.
Crew's yellow.
They've got black. They've got black on
Oh,
the bottom though.
Well,
Black and yellow, black
yeah.
and yellow, black and yellow.
But-
Sorry, we're not doing that.
And the
We have
thing that
big
caught me
logos
though
for
is
that,
why
so.
did they invert some of them? So it was like red on top for one,
Mhm.
blue on top for the other.
Yeah,
another
Just
team.
to do this different
Just
variation.
to do it,
Yep,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, it's depressing that MLS has done that.
Best ones. Orlando, the purple.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, Orlando's is good, and the custom Orlando one I
Oh,
saw on
yeah.
Reddit
With
was
the lion.
oh
So good.
so
Orlando
good.
City, we're more than ready for you guys to
We
come
are
to the
big
leagues.
fans, actually, of Orlando
Yes,
City.
we are.
We are big fans. There's a really cool video with all the crests, though. They kind of just blow through them, and it's kind of sweet. I'm trying to find them all. There they are.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you get a little bored with it. I think the 3 stars is kind of stupid.
Now, I mean, I do
Personally.
like the whole club, community, country.
Seattle's
aspect
is
of it.
hideous, by the way.
Oh,
With the rave.
That one's
and the blue.
bad.
well,
I
let's,
like the
let's
green.
just say
They
that
could have
red
done
green
it
is an
different.
ugly color.
Mm-mm.
I like the green.
No,
I
the
don't
green's
like- I
not
don't
the
like
bad
that.
part. The blue is
Blue
the bad
is.
part of that one.
I wish they would have done blue on the lines and then white in the center.
Okay.
It sounds bad, and where we live to say that it looks good, but the Rapids one looks actually kind of nice. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, no, I do like
it looks nice because it's so simple and their colors go together.
And
Yeah.
their color scheme is none other in the league.
As much as honestly, I really don't like the Rapids because I've been told not to like
Told
them.
not to like them.
Yes.
And I really just don't enjoy them. They've got a good color scheme and it looks good on this crest.
Yeah.
The main MLS one reminds me of a diver's flag. That's something
It
else
really
I don't like
does,
about
yeah.
it.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah.
It would be
Oh,
worse
no.
if it was red, and
You're
white.
right, yep.
Oh,
Yep.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I will say about this whole MLS campaign, which is kind of nice and kind of weird at the same time, though, once that hashtag came out, hashtag MLSNext, it actually became a trending topic,
It did.
which goes to show how in 20 years this league has changed that much that we
Yes.
actually have some things that can go ahead and trend like that.
I want to say one more thing that's really bothering me about these.
Oh, jeez.
There are 3 crests that follow the MLS crest style, and the rest have outlines.
Yeah.
Do you see that?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Single line, single line, single line, outlines. And I like the outlines better.
The outline on that's probably why I like the Orlando one so much. It's got
The
that
Orlando
purple
one's
outline.
awesome.
purple
I
outline.
love the Timbers.
Timbers is
Timbers
probably
one
the
is
best
fantastic.
one.
I would say the Timbers is
I
probably
will say
the
the
best
one thing that sold me more on these that sold me more on these crests are the teams that have released official pictures with it on their
It
jerseys.
looks-
Yeah.
See,
The Galaxy released it.
Did
New
they?
England
Yeah.
released it. DC United released them, and it looks great on the jersey.
I was gonna say the LA Galaxy one on this. You can't even see what I'm pointing at. That there, it looks horrible. But on the jersey, it
Yeah, I
looks
don't
really
like the
good.
Galaxy
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
I think all of
The
these
white
are going to look a
background.
lot better on the jersey.
Yep.
I think that's the big thing because this white background should be taken up by the jersey.
Kudos to MLS's marketing team for using certain sponsorships with a certain video game that is
Mhm.
very widely
You
played.
can I'll allow you to say
Okay.
that absolutely.
Certain
That's
great
news.
partnership with FIFA 15 and FIFA 15 coming out with demo trailers
Yes.
of the crests on the jerseys.
That video was phenomenal. It's actually right here.
Yeah.
It shows the crest. It highlights Seattle more than anyone else because
Yeah.
we know how MLS feels
Well,
about Seattle.
One, my last thing on this, because I
No,
know
I
you were
didn't
saying
do it.
how
I
you
didn't do
don't
it.
like the MLS Next.
I get why they're doing it. I just don't
Well,
like it.
because they're really actually pushing this into a market, a way that they've never done before.
Mhm.
So it is really the next.
Yeah, and that's I accept that.
Yeah.
Now we have a tendency as football fans to compare this to every single other league.
Can't do
Where,
that.
where the tendency that we need to have is to compare this to every other league that MLS has to compete against in this country.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you look at all the other league crests throughout this country, super simple.
Yeah.
As much as it seems like someone, spent 3 minutes coming up with it and putting it together, they probably did kind of think, hey, these are all the crests we're competing with. This is, what Americans associate as something simple, and this is what it is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of thought behind it. And like I said, kudos to the team. They're doing a good job. They're marketing this, in my opinion, and I like it.
I'm excited for this is how to say, I'm already excited for the next season.
Oh, yeah.
I've already put down payment on my season tickets for next year.
I think we all have.
Yeah.
You know what? I will say, I wanted to say 2 more things, and then I'll leave it for you guys if you want to say anything else. So we need to keep going.
Move on.
I probably will buy a new jersey next year. Because of the new crest, I will probably buy a new jersey.
We'll talk later.
We'll talk about that. It
later.
Depends.
We'll talk later.
Will you tape over Zango on your New Jersey?
No, because I don't. Zango and Light Vantage isn't the problem for me. We're going to talk about that later. We're not getting into that discussion. The second thing I want to say.
A powder keg with him.
The second thing I want to say before we move on, or if you guys have anything else, watching the video, reading through everything, press conference and all that, I might be a little biased, but this was the most Apple-styled launch of something like this I've ever seen.
Well,
look at the most trendy thing in the United States, iPhones. Why wouldn't they market? Why wouldn't they do it after it? You have to admit, Apple products are the most trendy.
Right. It was just weird for me to see the MLS do something, because it's not. I can't say it's not a product, because it is a product. But
it is, yeah.
I don't want to get too deep into that. It was just weird for me to see something like the MLS, a sports franchise style thing.
Take after something else.
Take after Apple. It was weird.
Trends.
Okay. That's all I have to say about it.
Trends.
All right.
Let's move on.
Let's move on. A couple other pieces of notes now that we've wasted almost all of our time with you this evening. MLS is making quite the move in CCL. DC has defeated Waterhouse 2-0 the other day. And unfortunately, Montreal and New York had to play each other, which is actually bad for the MLS because that means that there could be one less team in the final. Yeah. But Montreal defeated New York Red Bulls 1-0.
That was going to happen simply because of the allocation and how people go into CCL. Canadian teams go through the Canadian Cup and not through MLS. So that is why when they get ranked and drawn into their groups, there's that possibility that a Canadian team is going to be with an MLS team.
Well, that's not even the problem. The biggest thing I'm saying is that Montreal won.
Montreal beats them.
I actually have one quick thing. Did anyone see Fabi's goal for DC?
No.
Against Waterhouse?
Yeah.
No.
You guys need to go watch it.
Okay.
It is beautiful. Takes on 2 defenders, chips a keeper. Like, he's probably 30 yards out, right-hand side, beats 2 defenders, up and over.
Wow.
Beautiful. Go watch it.
We'll go watch that. In other news, just finishing up the CCL stuff, Sporting Kansas City is playing Saprissa right now. And looking at the score, it is 1-1 at half. Update for you.
Are they in Saprissa?
I don't know. I actually didn't.
Actually, no. I believe I read earlier it's a home game.
I think it's home because it's
that is
at
Sporting Park.
At Sporting Park.
That's a hard team to play in down in Honduras.
Yeah.
Okay. They are a very tough team.
But Sporting's at home, and
Sporting plays better on the road.
And those Argyle kits.
Love them.
They win all the time in those
love
Argyle kits.
I love the Argyle kits.
Anyways.
All right, moving on.
Anyway, last piece of news here, in case you missed it, the Lady Yanks played Mexico again today, just finished up recently 4-0. So half of the score that was in Salt Lake.
Yep.
On Saturday night.
Yeah. So that's it for news there.
Can we get a scarf that says Ocho Acero?
I wanted 10 acero.
I was hoping for 10. I'm stopping the video for a second because it actually has frozen up on my side of things, so I'm going to work on that for a minute.
Okay.
But just a reminder, as always at this time of the show, remember to join us on Facebook at facebook.com/passively-offside and on Twitter at @passively_off, or email us at passively-offside@gmail.com, and we may read your comments on air. With our new format, it's a little harder kind of looking at stuff. I don't have it up right in front of me because of the way the video's running. But, we'll get it back. We'll make it. That was a click for my camera. Don't worry about it. I'm working on it.
Want me to continue?
We're going to keep going. I'm okay. Everything's all right. I'm multitasking.
Okay.
Look at me go.
Everything's awesome.
So my first big discussion point, the thing that we wanted to talk about, this is kind of the biggest deal for MLS right now. Seattle, with their win over Real Salt Lake, has officially clinched a playoff spot.
Yeah.
They are officially in the playoffs. Nothing that any other team can do can knock them out of the playoffs. They can only go down in the top 5.
That's 5 years in a row now, though, for them.
Well, yeah. But I also don't know, again, haven't looked at the math, but I don't know if it's physically possible for them to get down to 5th place.
Probably
if they've already clinched a playoff spot, then it's impossible for them to miss the playoffs. So they are in the top
They can
5.
be anywhere within the top 5, those ones.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
that doesn't matter. It was
So
just a thought.
mathematically, with that win, they can drop to 5th and still be in the playoffs.
Exactly.
I don't.
If they lose the rest of their 7 games.
Yeah, I'm just
And-
going off my memory of the table. I don't think they could drop below 4th.
That's what I was thinking. I think
With
they're
the
up
table
pretty
how
high.
it is.
And if they even get that low, I mean, they've got so many goals. It probably.
Because again, looking at it, they're at 54 points. Again, clinched. They got the little X there. Closest is LA. Excuse me, guys. Closest is LA at 51 points, and Seattle has a game in hand over LA. Seattle has a game in hand over everybody, so that makes it even easier for them to stay up top. Real Salt Lake is at 46, by the
How
way.
many games are left? 8.
At this point, I think there's 6 or 7.
It's 8 for Seattle, 7 for everyone else.
Yes.
What are we looking at on Shield race?
Shields race, obviously Seattle sitting at the top, followed by LA Galaxy, DC United, and Real Salt Lake.
Isn't that crazy? DC United in 3rd.
Mhm.
Last year they were the bottom.
Worst for
Chivas and Montreal were above DC United last year.
6 more games. Seattle has 7.
Okay.
6
I
more
think
games.
A big thing that helped them was winning the Open Cup, gave them allocation money, and it's MLS.
Yeah.
And DC reworked their entire back line.
Oh yeah.
Bobby Boswell,
Oh,
Sean
yeah.
Franklin. They got like 2 others. All veteran
Yeah,
players
all
that
veteran.
all
That's
veteran
what
players
they
that have
did.
won MLS Cup are their back line.
Their coach is smart. Their
Yeah.
franchise is smart. They did the right thing when they knew they needed to do something.
Good on
Just-
you, Ben Olsen.
Seriously, popped
Yeah.
right back up, and seriously, good on you. What else is there to say? You know.
So doing the math real quick on that, they could drop to 5th, but they'd be tied.
Tied for 5th.
Tied for 5th. That's it.
That's
They
the worst
lost
they can get.
every game from here out, and I think it was Vancouver won every game from here out.
Wow.
So
Wow. Sorry. I just was messing with something, and I shouldn't have been touching anything.
He was messing with the Instagram filters.
Well, I just found these
Lights
filters, and it
on
really
everything.
messes everything up. It makes it really bad, and now the camera's frozen in Google, so
man.
I've ruined everything.
You're the worst.
I am the worst, and I apologize. Moving on, 9 yellows in LA versus San Jose, most in a game this season.
California Classico.
That happens. The best whole thing about this thing was Steven Lennart gets subbed in 72nd minute.
yeah,
Mhm.
Steven Lennart gets a yellow card 73rd minute. it's a Cali
I just
Classico.
wanted to say hi.
It's a Cali Classico. You don't. It's gonna happen. The one thing that pisses me off, a lot of people, is that Robbie Keane is still taking the penalties when he's missing.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's kind of a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I think AJ De La Garza should have taken it, but that's neither here nor there.
What are you gonna do?
No,
Yeah.
Call up Bruce Arena right now. Get him on the horn.
I will.
We need this going
let's
right
get
now.
Bruce on.
Brucey
the horn.
Bruce,
Brucey.
gotta talk to you, pal.
Call in. We'll take your call.
Bruce might might ask us to pay a bit of his fine just to listen to us.
Oh man, we don't have that kind of money right now.
No, we don't.
How do we feel about that? How many yellows there were, though? I mean, yeah, you say that happens, but
Games get chippy. I
Especially
mean,
those two.
yeah,
I mean,
there's
it's what
very
happened.
aggressive teams.
There's bad blood there between the fans, the teams, the coaches. I mean, it's just you. There's a reason it's called the Kylie Classico. That's gonna happen. Now you don't expect 9 cards,
no.
but you do expect a fair share of cards here and there. If I was a betting man, which I am,
Yeah.
I would always bet the over if it was a 6-card or 6-card game.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Always bet the over on that one.
Okay.
I don't know what else you guys have to add to that.
No.
There's really not much
Yeah.
there. I just kind of wanted to get a feel of how you guys felt about it. It was kind of a big deal.
Mhm.
Well, let's move past that then. This one, I want to point out before I bring it up, it was directly from Boris.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, jeez.
Boris wrote this into the notes, so I want to make that very clear.
I did write it into
Whoa,
Actually,
But
no,
this
but
is
no,
the
this
most anti-Homer
Yeah.
thing
Ever.
because the notes, word for word, says Montreal should have beat LA.
Yeah.
LA switched to a 4-4-2, came back to tie.
What have they been playing all season? A 4-4-2 or a whatever?
They've
It was
been playing a
3-5,
mixture between a
whatever.
4-4-2 and the 4 diamond.
And that stupid 3.
That was the
5.
first time.
That was the first time
3-5-2.
Bruce Arena decided
No, I know, but I
experiment,
just it
threw out a 3-5-2.
and it was awful.
Now dang it, I said we're. LA is bad at right now back there. 2 left backs that were both injured.
Mhm.
I mean, what are you gonna do? You throw Leonardo out there, and Leonardo, quite frankly, is not someone that should stay in LA. Leonardo's one of the worst defenders in all of MLS. But you have to kind of figure out what you're going to do.
Yep.
At the end, I believe they brought Baggio Husidic in and dropped him into that left back spot.
Yep.
And went back to the classic 4-4-2 that LA's played for years and years and years and came back and scored. That game, though, Ignacio Piatti, this is why he got our man of the week, player of the week with us. He was all over that place, exploiting the midfield and the defensive third of the LA Galaxy.
Which is surprising
yeah.
because that's where LA dominates is the midfield.
And if it wasn't for the lack of finishing, which is an aging Montreal Impact team, that could have easily been a 4-2 Montreal game.
Yeah.
So that's why I said Montreal should have beaten LA.
Kudos though for him to try the 3-5-2. First time I think that's ever been done in MLS.
It's not good.
It wasn't good. Well, I mean, look at.
It's not a good formation.
It is a great formation.
Not for MLS.
It's called total football.
Okay,
Taylor.
I didn't.
The Netherlands played.
Yeah, the Netherlands played.
Louis van Gaal, 3-5-2.
I'm talking about MLS, guys.
We were talking soccer.
I'll turn this off right now.
Burn.
I'll turn this off right now.
Shots fired.
I'll turn this off and go
I'm
home.
just saying.
You can do the rest of your show by yourself,
Oh,
pal.
man. Talking to a blank wall over here. Next note.
It
Okay.
was a terrible formation to try, but with the resources that they had, might as well throw it out there.
Moving on. Sporting Kansas City. Sporting Kansas City finally stopped losing. Good. They've won.
Good for them.
Who did they beat?
Good for them.
This is actually a very good point that Boris brings up because they stopped their losing streak against Chivas, the second
Aw.
worst team in MLS
Isn't
right
that what
now.
every losing team just waits?
Yeah. Guys, we have
Guys, we play
Chivas this
Chivas.
week.
They
They circle on the calendar.
Guys.
Two more weeks.
Yeah.
Just
We're okay.
just
Just
don't leave
survive.
too much. We just
Yeah.
got 2 more weeks.
Just keep the goal differential down, and we'll be okay once we play Chivas.
But that was bad for Sporting. 7 in a row
Oh, that.
with no points picked up.
But they did kind of kill Chivas 4-0, which I can't say with a straight face.
Hey, at least Chivas didn't score on them. Chivas
Yeah.
scored on Seattle. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sporting does still sit at second in the Eastern Conference
That
because
is
the
so
rest of the
sad.
East is so crap.
That is
The Eastern
so
Conference is so
horrible.
crap that 7 games. Let me actually double check that 7 games. Let's go to the results map real quick. Going to Sporting Kansas City. 4. Only 4.
Yeah. But they
That
lost.
they didn't.
They
pick up
lost
points
6
in.
out of 7.
Yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
Sorry, 5 out of 6.
5 out of 6, and the draw was the one right before that. So losing 4 games still keeps you in second place in the East.
Mm-hmm.
Wish we could do that.
Losing
I
4
wish we
games.
could be in the East.
Who's we?
Every
already
team,
did.
every team in the West.
Every team in the West.
We
Yeah.
as Western Conferencers.
Yeah,
Saying it,
we
we're
Western
West-
East.
covered it.
because
That's fine.
literally any team in the Western Conference that's in the top 4 loses 5 games out of 6.
And you're
They're
done.
below the line.
Yeah.
Just
Yep.
go hang out
They're
with
below the
Chivas.
playoff line.
Right?
Go hang out
That
with
is
Chivas.
Chivas.
Just go hang out with Chivas.
Well, look at Chivas' points to the rest of the West.
Well, So Chivas currently sits again in last place with 24 points.
Not bad.
Right under San Jose with 28. I've got my brightness way down because it makes me look weird. Looking at Chivas USA, going back in time, loss, draw, loss, win. They had a 4-game winning
Who did they
streak.
play?
Let's find out.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, just real
Wait,
quick.
An unnamed team.
Not team we're not gonna mention.
An
Real
unnamed
Salt
team.
Lake.
No!
Okay, wait.
I don't even remember that game. I must have been
Count
too
Chivas
old.
It was
as
1-0.
wins.
It was
Chicago.
right as that was the middle of the World Cup.
Oh,
It was June
right,
28th.
right.
It was middle of the World Cup. It was a crap game.
Oh,
One we gave away. That's
speaking
fine.
of Chicago, what are we on the Chicago Fire hashtag tie watch?
Let's find out. Ready?
Yes.
Ready to count?
Yep.
Draw. I'm not counting anything else, by the way.
Okay, fine.
Draw.
15.
15 out
Chicago
of
Fire is
27
2
games.
away from the record on season draws.
2 out of
And
the
they
next 7.
have a game in hand. They've got 7
They've
games
got
left.
7 games to draw.
All I gotta say, Chicago, Chivas has more wins than you.
Oh.
They do, which is so depressing.
Shots fired.
That said, though, if you look at the two teams next to each other, Chicago is up 6 points over.
Okay, 6.
6
But
points.
look at what.
But what place is Chicago in the East?
Ninth.
Oh, they're last?
They're second. to
No.
last.
They're
second to
last.
Montreal's last.
Yeah,
Montreal.
Chivas has to play in the Western Conference.
Yeah. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
Chicago, you've got an easy road, and you just keep drawing.
Drawing.
That's
But
why
hey,
my
they keep
prediction this
drawing.
week for Chicago is a draw.
Don't.
I wasn't gonna say
Don't.
it. I wasn't gonna say it.
That
Anyways,
joke is over and done with. We're done with that. We can count the draws, but we're not saying it anymore.
Hashtag doing the business.
I have to drive you home later. You're gonna die.
Oh, let's keep moving. Let's move
How
on.
long is Dan Kennedy gonna stay at Chivas with this? Because I make this joke, which isn't actually a joke, that Dan Kennedy is the best player on the Chivas team.
he really is.
Wins the roster.
Well,
free
between him and Kubo Torres,
set. Oh man.
I mean, if you can, Kubo's bringing in what? He's got 12 goals on the season,
Something like that.
12 goals
with
on
the
the season.
team he's on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's doing pretty good. But Dan Kennedy is almost every other week up for save of the week.
Yes.
Mhm.
And he just looks like a man depressed now. Every single
He
game,
needs to get out of there.
every single game, you see him put forth his best effort, some of the best saves, good movement in his box.
You know who
But
should
when-
pick him up? Sacramento,
Oh.
If Sacramento goes into the league,
which we're finding out about soon.
yeah,
Very soon.
I believe
Yeah.
they should.
My buddy told me that
Um,
we're finding out very soon.
When's the roster freeze hit?
Roster freeze is already
Yeah,
gone.
it's done.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
thought
no.
I thought I heard
And-
something. It was
Well,
still like
we'll have
April or
Sacramento wouldn't be
One of our next
till
pod-
17.
probably.
Most likely not till 17
We'll
or
go-
16.
We'll go into more detail on player movements, expansion draft
December.
type stuff after the season.
December 10th.
December 10th is
Oh
when all
wow,
that
that's
starts.
right after
That
the cup.
is
Yeah.
when the allocation draft.
And as
whatever
it's
it's
looking
called.
like right now, the cup more than likely is going to be on the West Coast, so we will all probably be there, and you can expect a show from wherever city we're going to be in.
Hold up, you paying for this?
I'll pay for wherever we're sitting at, not the tickets to go to
That
the
sounds
game.
good. All right, we can talk about this later.
Okay.
Anyway,
You just made me sad. All right, let's close this one out, guys.
We
Are
done?
you on your phone
I was trying to pull up notes.
during a show? Put
Please
your
go.
phone
Oh,
down.
no.
I've got the notes right
Come on.
here. Get out of here. You're done. We were talking earlier about Montreal should have beaten LA.
Yeah.
I feel the same way about Philadelphia
Oh.
because I watched the replay and Philly had at least 3 or 4 shots hit the frame.
in which game? In
The game I'm talking about,
Yes.
which I was getting Seattle has won the Open Cup, the
Yeah.
U.S. Open Cup. They beat Philly in PPL Park. And this is, we're calling it now, not that it's happening, but that it's a road. This is checkbox 1 of 3 for the first MLS treble.
Hashtag Treble Watch.
Hashtag
Yeah,
treble watch
Treble Watch,
14.
Also, U.S. Open doesn't count.
U.S.
Open doesn't count.
They're about to win the Supporters Shield.
Well, when they win it, then we'll talk about it. I mean, come on.
Yes, it does.
We're 7 games.
Just joking.
We're 7 games away. We can't say that yet.
No.
But
That
no.
was a fun chant, though.
Yeah, it was.
Legitimately,
That was a
though,
good
Seattle is the first contender.
Yeah.
For,
The first real
the
contender
trouble.
for the trouble. Actually,
No.
I argue that.
Well,
no.
Real Salt Lake was last year.
2011 LA Galaxy won the Supporters Shield and the MLS Cup,
Here's the thing.
and they were nowhere
How far
near
they get in the
nowhere
NFL?
near the U.S. Open because of the good old Carolina Railhawks.
RSL could have taken all 3 last year. Didn't get a single one, by the way. Could have taken, was in an opportunity to take all 3. Had Real Salt Lake beaten DC United both of the times they played
Twice.
them, both the times they played them, lost twice. Had they beaten them twice, we would have. I said we. I did it.
So
And I'm
Boris
sticking
already
with
did
it. I'm sticking with it.
Boris already did it. It's fine.
We would have gotten the Open Cup because that was the final. We would have gotten Supporter Shield because we were only 2 or 3 points behind, 2 points behind, and we were still already in the MLS Cup. Had we beaten Sporting Kansas City, RSL had just as good of a chance as Seattle
Really
has right
quick.
now. Seattle's just 1 step ahead.
This is Siggy's. If they win the Supporter Shield, this will be his 4th time winning two trophies.
in 1 year.
No. This will be 4 times as him as a coach that one of his teams have won 2 trophies in a year. So like,
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's done that with 2005 Galaxy
Mm-hmm.
And then
twice with
No, it was once with Columbus and then once with DC.
Siggy, you're kind of a MLS coach whore.
Yeah.
but everywhere
Well,
he
he can
goes,
do
he's been,
well.
he's been winning trophies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been winning trophies and eating cake. So you know what? It's,
Winning trophies, eating cake. Winning trophies, eating cake. And we're done with that. Let's actually talk about the game.
I can't remember.
Which game?
Yeah, which one?
Open
US
The Open Cup
Cup.
game.
Oh, okay.
No, we're talking about the real
Yeah,
game.
because he didn't watch.
None of us can really remember the Real Salt Lake game. We're going to be straight up
Yeah,
honest
that's
with you.
just full disclosure. We went to a Freeport.
Just
State.
want to watch it later?
We'll watch the
probably
condensed
should
game.
watch it later.
That was a condensed game.
Thank you, by the way, Seattle, for
Yes.
hosting us. I forgot to mention that earlier.
Gorilla
Gorilla
FC.
FC, thank you so
Yep.
much for hosting us and
Huge
trading
shout out.
scarves with us. People of the world who are all Real Salt Lake fans, if anyone does watch this who's not, if your team goes to Seattle, go to Seattle.
They're
The only bar I've ever been to in a different city where the bartenders were wearing the scarves of Real Salt
the
Lake.
visiting team.
The visiting
But
team.
there were 2 bartenders at Fado in
Yeah.
Seattle, the bar of Gorilla
Gorilla
FC, were wearing RSL shirts and scarves because they were from Utah and were RSL
Great.
fans.
It was great, and
That is a good way to make tips.
it was awesome.
Oh
And-
yeah, very good.
I
way
bet
to-
they made
The
bank that night.
the one thing I do want to say is, out of everybody I encountered walking the streets of Seattle, walking out of the stadium, in the concourses, everything, I had one person give me a negative reaction for wearing Real Salt Lake gear. Everyone else was, great game, man. That was an awesome game.
Yep.
That was a heck of a game. Nick
Well, the
Ramon
day
was a
after, though,
stud.
too.
And then even the day after, like
Well, there was just that one guy.
one guy we saw like 3 times.
One guy who was no, not the RSL guy. The guy who we were walking into Fado the next day. This guy, I'm wearing my Real Salt Lake hat, and this guy's like, "Wow, I can't believe you're wearing that hat after the beating you took." And I was like, "It was 2-3, dude. You scored in the last second
94th minute, bro.
when we were a man down.
Come
We
on.
held for 20 minutes. That was not a beating. That was an amazing game, and Seattle came out on top, and it was awesome."
I will say the one thing that stood out to me, and I mentioned it to you when we were walking down in Seattle, the one random guy with the Philly Union hat. Just one random guy in Seattle.
There was a guy with a Red Bulls jersey too.
Yeah.
I saw a Red Bulls jersey like the next day.
But either way,
People in
back to the-
Seattle are weird.
Back to the point. Very support. It was awesome. The fans were
Great city.
great. Very welcoming. A lot of fun.
Portland's a liar. They're great in Seattle. Portland will tell you they're not, but obviously that's a rivalry. We're going to tell you that Colorado sucks to go to, and actually we'd probably
They
be
do.
right. I mean, Colorado.
We could go and see for ourselves.
The
do a
games
remote
aren't
show.
even in Denver.
I mean, it's
Just
there are
like-
some stores you can go by. through the Denver area that make the trip a lot better.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Like liquor stores, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
yes,
what I'm talking about,
exactly.
Colorado
Boris,
liquor store.
shut up.
Shut up.
Let's finish this up, guys,
Let's
because we didn't even
please
talk about
finish
this
this
topic.
up.
Does anyone have anything to say about the Open Cup?
It was a great game.
It was- yeah.
I agree. Philly, I think, had the chance to win it and probably should have, but sometimes it just
I will
doesn't.
say, and I mentioned this to you guys after I watched the highlights, Fry stood on his head.
Oh yeah.
Some of his saves were absolutely amazing, where if they were counted for save of the week, they would all
Would be
win.
that.
All win.
Yeah.
Okay. Just a compilation of stuff.
Yes. Oh, it was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Which is weird because he's known for a lot of moronic things on the field.
Yes.
A
yes.
lot.
Yeah.
Like that time that he basically scored on himself.
Wasn't he the one that kicked the ball? Like he went out to the
Yes.
edge of the 18 and was like, "I'm gonna clear this ball." Oh, I only went to the center circle. Oh, you're shooting from there? Oh, I can't get back that fast. Goal.
He basically scored on himself. Exactly.
I will say one thing, and I don't know if you guys have noticed it, but I feel like the douchebaggery level of Chad Barrett has grown since he's become a Sounder.
I would agree. I don't like Chad Barrett at all.
I don't like Chad
I
Barrett.
don't have it before, so I can't comment on the
Well, he
after.
was New York and played for a long time in LA.
Okay.
And I just think he's just gotten that much worse.
Yeah.
And Seattle's like feeding it. It sucks.
Well, when they have Chad Barrett watch when they're commentating on it, I think that just feeds into it.
Dempsey watch and Chad Barrett watch make me angry.
Well, why are you going to have a watch for Chad Barrett is what I want to know.
'Cause he was-
LA was glad to get rid of him.
Okay.
All right, let's finish
Let's
this up.
do
Did you have
this.
anything else to say?
I'm good.
You good?
Okay.
All right, Nephi. Real Salt Lake versus Colorado.
RSL,
Portland versus Vancouver.
Portland,
Philly, Houston.
Philly.
You have New York, Seattle.
In New York or in Seattle?
In New York, it looks like.
Draw.
You give me that draw?
No, I'll go Seattle.
I think Seattle's going to go 3.
Okay.
Columbus and Rev.
Revolutions.
I like how this is, no offense to Boris, but he wrote this part of the notes as well. Columbus v. N-E-R-E in all caps, VS. I was like,
Versus?
Or is it a third team playing? Montreal, San Jose.
Oh, San Jose.
Give it to Montreal.
No,
I
not
gave that
even
to
close.
No,
Montreal.
draw.
I gave that to
Draw.
Montreal.
I'm gonna give it a draw.
I
see what
think I might
happens.
give that to
I'm
Montreal.
gonna give it a draw.
All right, Boris, you have Chicago, DC.
Draw.
At this point, I'm hoping for it because I want them to get
I
it.
want them. They have 7 games to get
That's
2
the
draws.
only thing they could win this year.
Is the record
Is
for
the
the most
record.
draws.
LA, Dallas.
Where is it?
LA.
Looks like LA.
If you typed it in right.
If you typed it correctly.
1-1 draw.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't blame you on
He's
that
just
one.
trying to not be a homer at this
I
point.
honestly.
My heart says LA.
What does that brain case say?
The way Dallas has been playing and the
Yeah.
way LA's is playing, 1-1 draw.
Okay.
Chivas v Toronto.
Chivas.
Yay!
Oh, 6-1 of the
wow.
season.
This has been a fun
This
show.
has been wild.
I know Nephi is going to scold us for things after,
Yeah.
but we've had a good
Anybody.
time. Shh, I'm making jokes. Anyone have anything else they want to add? Everyone good?
No.
You happy with the show?
Yes.
Thank you all for joining us. Remember to join us as well on Facebook.com/PassivelyOffside, on Twitter at @passively_off, or email us at passivellyoffside@gmail.com. We love to hear from people, so feel free to do that. And that does it.
Yeah.
That's it.
That-
For the Passively Offside team, I am Stephen Fry. Have a good night.